The red pill. If you've seen references or heard references to this thing, like I said, I lived under a rock for a better part of 12 years. I was out of the loop and unable to, or incapable, or didn't care enough to, be tagged into uh, the web and all the National Enquirer BS that was flying everywhere, and all the you hear so much crap, you just shut out, you shut it off, you shut it out, and then one day you wake up and you start going back and you start looking at YouTube videos, and you come across things and you go, what the hell is this? Okay, so there's this movement or this phase or something that's going on in America, the awakening of the male conscience, or some BS like this. It's a lot of response to all this rabid, radical, social justice warrior BS that a lot of these extreme feminists have been throwing down everybody's throats the past few years, and a lot of men have woke up now. I can't say this because I must have woke up a long time ago. I learned the hard lesson when I was in my early 20s after my first wife and I divorced. I learned the realities of the way the world was. And for a long time, I stayed a bachelor because I played the game, and that made me a nasty person, according to certain people, because I played the game that they set the rules by. And then eventually, I found somebody else, and been married ever since. Now, taking the red pill. We've watched the film, and I'm all for equal rights for everybody equal in every aspect within reason. I've said this, I've said it in other vlogs, we're not all freaking equal no matter how you twist it. No matter how hard I try, no matter how much I starve myself, I'm never going to put on somebody who's half my size's pants. I'm not going to wear my buddy's pants because he wears a 28 and I wear a 44. Not going to ever happen. So we are not equal in that aspect. He gets to buy cheaper pants, nicer looking ones than I do, because I'm a fat bastard. He's not. Is what it is. And I've been a big fat bastard my entire life. Even when I was skinny fat bastard, I was still a big bruiser of a mother effing bee who could not wear cheap freaking clothes. If you're fat, they make you pay for more. It takes more material to cover your butt, and it's going to cost you more money for it. It is what it is. It's the same problem when you get on an airline. The airline wants to charge you for 2 seats because you can't squeeze your fat ass in that narrow little sweet seat that's made for Ken and Barbie. Just saying. I don't fly planes. Never been in one, but I can see and understand and empathize with those who run into that situation and get punished for being who they are. So, we get ourselves back to this red damn pill. There's a big feminist movement, act like it's something new. It ain't new. It's been going on for a long time. And a lot of it's good stuff. There's good reasons for it. It's justified. But then there's the radicals that take it to the extreme. There's these crazy people that think that think their agenda isn't enough, that there needs to be more. And at some point, people get fed up with it. So when the women male bash constantly, the men are going to get tired of that. You can't pick on us constantly. And, back in the day, women used their wiles and their gender as leverage. You don't hear too many men refusing to have sex. Well, I'm not having sex with you tonight, and having the woman go, "Oh my God, that's terrible." Men are geared towards procreation, and it's a cruel and unusual tactic to use against them but that's time immemorial. It is what it is. And if you say otherwise, we're bastards for saying otherwise. Well, I'm a bastard, then ain't I? Well, fuck you. I know my mom and dad. Who gives a shit what you think? This is what I think of you, because I don't know what you already think of me. Gives a damn, right? So the same problem. And they wake up and they realize, wait a minute, this particular portion of the female agenda want equal pay, equal rights. They want equal treatment. They want to be treated like a person. They want to be treated like a man. They want to be one of the boys and expect to be treated like one of the boys. They want all this, but they also still want to get, you take them out to dinner, they expect you to pay the bill. You're a freeloader or a cat or whatever if you look at them and ask them to, well, you paying for dinner? If you're a true member of this modern feminist movement, then wouldn't you be the first person to say, I'm treating. Let's go out to dinner. I'll buy. And not put that obligation on the guy? No, you expect the guy to do it. You don't expect the manners. Miss Manners. Miss Manners wants everything, but she also still wants the manners. She wants Miss Manners philosophy. She wants the guy to be the gentleman. The guy's going to get out and open the car door. The guy's going to always be on the left. The guy's going to be between her and, the street, or her and potential problems. The guy's going to, now wait a minute. This is where that red pill comes in. You want all the stuff you want, and then you expect us to still cater to all the stuff you think you're entitled to have. You tell us you want this, but you don't want to be treated this way, and then you turn around and expect to be treated that way, and when somebody don't treat you that way, we're the bad guy. We're the bad guy for doing what we think you want us to do. And therein lies part of the problem. Men are always trying to second guess and figure out what it is the women want. The women is always, you know what I'm thinking? No, I don't know what the hell you're thinking. Sorry, but I don't. I can't read a effing mind. I don't give a fuck who you are. I've had this argument with my wife many times. What are you doing? What are you doing? What? Well, you're not even paying attention. No. I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention. Half the time you're rambling off to yourself, you're talking to the cat, you're talking to the TV. And when I ask you what it is, you yell at me for asking. So you yell at me when I don't ask you. You know what? What do you want? You want everything and you want a bag of chips. Well, I can't help that. Well, and she's a reasonable person. There's a lot of unreasonable people. I'm not going to name one, but I have one of my a very close associate, and I'm being very judicious of how I phrase it, because who knows who's watching these damn things. So this particular person expects everybody to basically bow down and kiss her ass and do whatever she says, when she says, how she says it, even when she don't know what the hell she wants. She acts like she knows everything. She twists everything around, and then she gets, when it's not convenient for her, she expects you to step up and do something, or you to take the initiative, or can you take care of this? Well, wait a minute. What? You don't think I don't have a job? I don't have obligations. I don't have other things to do today? What the hell's wrong with you? Take the red pill. Yeah, wake up, male America. The writing's on the wall. We're getting to a point where traditional everything is out the window, and nothing's going to be quite the same. And even more so, watch yourself. Watch everything you say and do, because we're in that environment now. These people can twist this stuff and turn it around, and it's not just the women. There's enough men who want to cater to the women that they're going to basically sell out their fellow man and be dishonest, because they want the pussy to shut up. They want that pussy to keep coming, and they're going to do whatever it takes to make the women think that they're on their side, when in reality you're still as hoes as we are. You just deluding yourself. Okay. Life sucks. The world sucks the way it works. I mean, we're going to have an entire generation of young men coming up who's going to, shy away from what's considered a normal, functional relationship, a healthy relationship, in part because we have a whole generation of unhealthy young ladies coming up with unhealthy mindsets who believe, rightly so, that they're entitled to certain inalienable rights. They are what they are. But they don't know when to stop. They don't know when to accept the fact that inalienable rights goes both ways. This stuff flows both ways. You can't have one without the other. And when you think you do, now you're just doing the exact same thing that you're bitching that everybody did to you, that the men did to you. So we see this over and over again. I'm now looking at them talking. This is social justice warrior bullshit 101. I watched them on news the other day going back and looking at some of the old TV shows from the 60s and 70s, and oh my God, those are so wrong. We need to ban those shows. We need to ban them. What? What, man? It was a different social situation, different social time, a different set of rules and stuff going on. They did what they did. They acted the way they did because it was socially acceptable for that era. It's not socially acceptable now. Fine, But don't get there and start talking to me about how you're going to ban the books. This is what I'm hearing. This is the same crap that the Nazis tried to do and every tolerant society's ever tried to do. They want to erase history. They want to change history. They want to do things. They want to eliminate things. I'll give you a prime example. Not too long ago, a couple years ago, there was the beginning of a movement to get rid of the Southern antebellum, whatever you want to call it, South crap. I grew up watching The Dukes of Hazzard. I loved the show. It never once occurred to me that Bo and Luke Duke running around in the General were a bunch of racist bastards and women hating racist bastards because they had the Confederate flag on their car and Daisy running around in her little Daisy Dukes that she's so famed for, right? So it got to be not a non grata thing. This is a bad thing. So they had a remake of The Dukes of Hazzard, and they went back and edited the movie to remove the Confederate flag from the General Lee, which now means the General Lee is just basically an orange damn car, and it's not the same thing. It'd be like taking, going to Smokey and the Bandit and taking the damn Screaming Chicken off the front of the Pontiac. It just kind of loses something, right? Okay. They talk about tearing all these statues of General Lee and Jackson and all the stuff down from all these countries, making these states stop flying the Confederate flag or the variant thereof because it's a failed, treasonous, would been break off country, and so on and so forth. But it's mostly because it's a power trip tool used by racists to continue to remind everybody that somehow or another they're better than everybody else. Yeah. See, now I get that. I do. I understand it. I do. I get that, and to some degree I can empathize with it. I also understand because from my perspective it's not about the racial thing. I'm sorry. And you're going to call me a racist. You're going to call me racist because you're a bigoted, self-centered, egotistical bastard who needs to take the red pill yourself. Or bastardess, whatever. But first off, they're traitors. It's treason. The bastards try to break away from the country, except it wasn't a monarchy. So how really was that being a traitorous thing? They just decided, some states decided they were done with being with part of the Union. They decided to go their way. And we punished them for it. We forced them at the end of a gun to rejoin the country, and we made sure that they didn't try it again. Don't be badgers and lambaste Texas for doing it twice. Oh yeah, that's a blog unto itself right there. We talk about that on a different situation. We'll talk about Texas one of these days. If I can remember to do it. So, the red pill. Equal rights, equal pay, equal attention, equal this, equal that, except for you. They want everything that they think they're entitled to in a bag of chips, and then they also want everything that they think that you think they should have. And then they want you to treat them the same way. You want equal rights, but you don't want equal whatever. All right, so here's an obvious gorilla squatting in a corner. And I'm not advocating violence in any form. I don't lay my hands on anybody unless it's self-defense. And if I am put into a corner where I got to defend myself, it's Hiroshima. I will do everything I can. And I learned that there's no such thing as a fair fight. And the best way to stop a fight is to put it down fast. And if that means picking up a chair and beating somebody senseless with it, to prevent them from doing it to me and getting it over with, so be it. Because the longer a fight goes, the more likely I'm going to lose it. That's just the truth. The longer you let a fight go, the better chances you are having losing that fight. Don't fight in the first place. Talk your way out or walk away. Be the bigger man. I don't have to fight you, but a woman comes after you with a butcher knife, and it happens. I watched someone do that to my cousin years ago, and she threatened to cut him. Waved this damn thing at him. Took a swipe at him. I saw on a different occasion somebody, jump up, got in an argument, and she hit her husband. And in our society today, if he hit her back, he goes to jail. Anybody sees it, he goes to jail. Domestic abuse. Nobody talks about the fact that the lady initiated it. The woman, the argument might have been dual initiated or initiated by the guy, but the woman escalated it. She took it to a physical level that she had no right to do. She violated his rights by hitting him first, or threatening physical violence first. And then is just terrified and shocked and appalled when the guy defended himself. So when that lady took that knife to my cousin knocked it out of her hand, and then she took a swing at him. My cousin put her up against the wall. Didn't beat her, didn't pummel her, didn't kick her, didn't keep stomping on her, but he defended himself. And yet, he went to jail for it. He got in trouble. Ignore the fact that she almost cut his nose off. But that's okay, right? Isn't it? Isn't that the way it's supposed to work now, ladies? Isn't that the mindset that you want? You want everything and then some? We're supposed to bow down and accept it. So, you want all this equal rights, equal treatment, and equal everything, and that's fine. So, but then when it comes to the social situations, you expect us to follow a different set of codes and rules when you want us to. But we're supposed to know this. Somehow, in our head, we're supposed to be able to tune in to what it is you expect at that moment. And when we don't, you throw it in our face. We don't react the way you expect, you throw it in our face. If we react in the way you don't want us to react, you throw it in our face. When we don't react at all, you throw it in our face. It's back to that he said, she said crap. You're over there yammering on about all kinds of crap, and then ask something that's important, and then we'll go, I'm sorry, what'd you say? And then you get all butthurt and belligerent. Well, you weren't paying attention. You weren't hitting. No, I wasn't paying attention because you do nothing but shut. You don't shut up. You just run your mouth about all kinds of crap about nothing to yourself, to the damn dog, to the TV, to the mailman. And I'm supposed to know when the hell and what the hell when this switched over from them to me. Sorry, so I'm the bad guy. It's my person in my family that are associated in my family that actually there's a couple of them that I think about that has that mindset. That makes it so difficult to deal with her, because it's always about her, always about her. Another one who's always about poor me. She's so desperate for attention, and yet when you give her the attention, she gets snooty and arrogant, and the next thing you know, everything she's saying is coming out of her mouth is somehow or another she's just trying to be helpful, but she's being derogatory, or to the point where you just can't be around her because you can't take it. Her own son moved away to a different state to get away from her because of it, and I feel for her. She's outliving all of her siblings, and she's alone, and you feel for her, but you spend 5 minutes with her, just talk to her on the phone for 5 minutes, and you're ready to chew your arm off to get away from it, because you can't say nothing, because it doesn't register. She don't want to hear it, and if you do say it, then you're a bad guy. You say the obvious, state the obvious. So we're going to have a whole new generation of young men who are going to be confused and terrified. Ladies dress provocatively just to feel good about themselves, and then scream rape when you look at them funny. Because, oh my God, how dare you stare at my cleavage? I'm going to wear something that's going to show my belly button, and yet when you stare at my cleavage, I'm going to call you out on it. You're some kind of pervert. Well, aren't you an exhibit? Aren't you one of those exhibitists or whatever you call it? You're going out to show your junk off. You're showing your stuff to everybody. Doesn't that make you a pervert? It just is. Oh, you're looking pretty. You're just trying to show you're a good-looking person. But you don't want nobody to look at you. You want everybody to look at you, but you don't. Because if you catch them looking at you, you're going to yell at them, right? Well, she's got a right to dress that way. Sure she does. And I got a right to look at it. But you don't want that. You don't want that. Now, this guy's got a right to act like an idiot, and I got a right to call him an idiot, except he won't hear it. I'm somehow abusing his rights because I'm calling out for doing something stupid, and ideally, something that's probably going to eventually cause him problems because it's being stupid. I'm not going to call him, I'm not going to call him. It gets to a point where you'll call nobody out. You don't talk to people. Don't look at people. And what kind of society are we developing here? What's this turning into? It's almost scary where this is heading. Take the red pill. Choke on the goddamn red pill. And ladies, you got your freedom. This is what you want. Now you want to burn the house down too. Some of you do. Most of you don't. Most of you are decent people. But those fanatics, those crazy people, come on. Come on. Telling us about how bad off you are and how you've been abused and how you've been taken advantage of. And yet you do the exact same crap to everybody else. Your fellow ladies and the men around you. Get off your high horse.